Today, here we go. This is exciting. This is super exciting.
Oh, tell your face.
Today I'm talking about my plantar fasciitis. It's not warts, okay? Fasciitis, it's like the plantar muscle in the leg, in the foot, and this pain over here. I don't know, it's hard to describe, but it's not warts. I was talking to one guy, and he's like, oh yeah, I have plantar fasciitis really bad. I was like, oh really? Yeah. So I said, well, so how did you finally get rid of it? Because I went through this whole thing myself, this whole process, and I couldn't get rid of it. Couldn't get rid of the pain. And he was like, oh, just surgery. I was like, surgery? Oh, so you went in and did all that? He's like, well, it wasn't really kind of a day thing. He just came in and just kind of cut it off and then bandaged it. And I was like, are you talking about warts? Are you just talking about like a plantar wart? Is that what you're talking about? Is warts? It's not a wart.
Say it a million more times.
So I had it once before, 2007 or 2008 in my one foot. It wasn't bad. I had a little bit of pain, and then I blew my knee out playing basketball and had to get completely straight leg cast, and I was on crutches and rehab, and I basically stayed off the foot, and the pain went away. So I never thought about it again until after I did the movie Extraordinary.
Great success story.
So the movie Extraordinary is about this ultramarathon runner, Dr. David Horton, and he just like legend of ultramarathon running, just pushed his body beyond the limits that anyone should ever push their body. And I didn't do those things. I just had to do a movie about it. And even that gave me the worst plantar fasciitis in the world. I was in so much pain after shooting that movie. I was like, oh, that doesn't seem right.
I'm not a doctor, but you look like you're hurt.
And I just kept running every day. And it hurt. And I wasn't smart at the beginning of this whole thing.
I'm sorry, say again, Cactus?
I was on tour with a buddy, and it was starting to really hurt. Both feet, too. Starting to really hurt. So I said, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to push through. It probably just needs to be pushed. It's real scientific method. So I'm going to go for a run, and I went for a long run. I got back from the run. Everything was fine. I mean, it hurt a little bit, but it wasn't worse. And then I got in the car, and we drove like 4 hours or 6 hours or whatever it was to the next gig. And I'm telling you, when I got out of the car and set my foot down on the pavement, it hurt so bad. I was like, I could barely walk that night. I was in so much pain. And here's the thing. I got lots of advice from everybody and doctor's advice and Google.
I looked it up on the Google.
And I tried everything. Like, I've been down the road. I've tried everything. First was the stretching, and I tried these stretches. Insoles. Here's the thing. Every one of these things that they gave me on the list to do, it got a little bit better. Like, the pain kind of went down a little bit for like a couple days, and then it was boom, right back there again. Like everything I tried. So I'd be in so much pain every night. I'd grab the recycling bin, the blue recycling bins, and go into the hotel hallway with the ice machine. Again, I don't know why I'm doing sound effects. I guess I'm feeling like that's adding to these stories.
But it's not.
And I filled it up with ice, and then I put water in it, and I would soak my feet in that every single night. And again, it sort of helped a little bit for a while, and then after a while, the pain was still just as bad. Really bad pain. Strassberg sock, that was the one thing. Here it is.
Not exactly a promotional bell ringer.
You put your foot in it, and then see it's got a little Velcro thing, and then this goes around your knee, right? Like it goes around there, and then you clip this on there, and it basically pins your toe. I hope I'm wearing good socks. I hope these socks don't have holes in them, but I have no idea.
Can you not feel them?
Because I can't see. Oh no, they do. And that just ends up torquing on your toes. And so I talked to my doctor, and he was like, listen, why don't you get these boots and just sleep in these boots, because that'll do it. And I brought them for each foot, mind you. So I set my foot in these things, and I slept in these
Take off your boots.
And that should have been a couple of months, apparently. And it should have been back to normal or better. Again, immediately it felt a little bit better, so I was like encouraged. And I told him, yeah, it looks good. But I wore them for a year, over a year. It was a year and a month. And I was like, this is not getting any better. I'm in just as much pain. And try sleeping in ski boots. It is not comfortable. I had horrible, for a year, I had just terrible sleeps. Kept waking up with these. It was just not a good thing. And I kept having to get up and go to the bathroom. Try walking around, clunking around on these things. Clink, clink, clink. It's like wearing stilettos or something.
I came out of the womb wearing stilettos.
I would not be a good businesswoman. I don't know how to walk in those things. On your... So still in pain, I'm talking to the doctor, and I had some friends tell me, cortisone shot, just get the shot, you're good to go. And my doctor was kind of like, yeah, it's last resort. Not last resort, but it was second last on the resort.
What kind of spa is this?
And so I was like, okay, so what do you think? And he's like, well, let's try this shockwave therapy and laser treatment. So the shockwave, it looked like just a little thing that was like a little hammer thing. It didn't seem like shockwave. Like I thought we'd be like clear on my feet, right? Nothing, just this, and that hurt a little bit as they did it. But they were like, yeah, I should start feeling better. Then immediately after that, they would do laser treatment, and which is just this little light and heated up. The lasers are sure disappointed me. Like, I'm a guy from the 80s, and the lasers they promised us in the 80s were... That's what lasers were supposed to be. So here we are 40 years later, and really disappointed in lasers. I thought we'd have laser guns and stuff by now. They can cut things with lasers now too, but it's like this boring, okay, so we'll just turn on the light and, right? There's no, I'll blast that door open with my blaster. That's what I was hoping for. Nothing. Even laser eye surgery is just kind of like, okay, so they're going to put the lasers in the eyes, and here we go. I want to see somebody, that's better.
These are the keys to modern medicine.
I had higher hopes for lasers. So we did that treatment. I did it a couple times, and it hurt to begin with, but he said that's, the guy was like, yeah, you'll feel a little bit of pain, but then it'll get better. So he actually came in, he's like, hey, so your foot's not feeling any better? And I was like, well, no, but you said initially, like, is it just the initial pain and then it'll eventually? He's like, well, not after a month. Like, if you're not feeling better after this particular appointment, don't come back. He basically told me, don't come back. It's not working for you.
I haven't seen him since.
So now I've done everything. Nothing worked. I'm still like, I guess we do cortisone shot? But I was like, I guess I'll have to go to my doctor and ask for that or surgery. I didn't want to go as far as getting surgery for plantar fasciitis.
And you got to do what you got to do.
And then I was on tour with Amberly Nice and Johnny Diaz, marriage date night tour. And Johnny says to me one day, he says, yeah, my wife had some, I don't know if it was the fasciitis or something else, but he was like, she really found that stretching worked. I was like, oh, stretching. Hadn't thought of that. It's only like the first thing I did.
I've been a bit of a jerk.
I wasn't maybe quite as snotty as that, but he was like, how long are you staying in your stretches? And I was like, well, I don't know. You do the stretch, you feel it out a little bit, and then move on. He's like, because he said, my wife found the difference was like if she'd stayed in the stretch for like 2 minutes.
Careful timing we will need.
Like, that's what he said. And I was like, okay, 2 minutes? That's going to make a difference? I got to the hotel room that night, and I stretched it out for 2 minutes on each foot. I timed it. So I would stay in that stretch for 2 minutes. And it felt better. Again, everything does after the first couple days. So I kept doing it. And it went away. Everything went away. I haven't had, every once in a while I'll get pain. The fasciitis pain will be back. And I still wear insoles. But when it comes back a little bit, I just stretch again. And make sure I stay in it for a couple minutes. And it goes away That's all. I wasn't stretching long enough. I did all that stuff. I slept in these boots. Ow, I just hit myself in the face with them. Ouch. I'm sorry, the lip.
I am so mad.
When you got an issue and they're like, you should be stretching, just maybe take your time in the stretch. That's my advice to you. Although I tried it with my back, because I had my back went out, and I was like, you know what, there was these stretches I was trying, it wasn't working, and I was like, I'm gonna sit in here for longer in a couple minutes. And I did that, and it hurt way worse. So, I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor, but you look like you're hurt.
Because I was starting to walk funny, too. Like, I was kind of like, And it's like old people do.
Remember, you're old.
Subscribe below. Click on that little notification bell, and that lets you know, hey, there's another video dropping, and you're going to want to see it.